Magic in the Morning, Lola Young. And I'm looking at the clock, says 8:35. Actually nailed it right on the button, to be honest with you. And that also means it's time for a chat with Mike Barrett. It's called Good Policies. We do it with Barrett Insurance every Tuesday here on Magic. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Was it good advice this morning that I sent out to our listeners saying if you're headed out, grab your Ray-Bans?
Yeah. Although I heard you say that the fog has lifted in the Passumpsic River Valley. I believe St. Johnsbury is in the Passumpsic River Valley, and it still looked a bit foggy at that time. So,
Well, that's why we ask you sometimes when you come in.
a live weather observation on my way in.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, have you seen all over the internet and social media the graduations that have gone on here, huh?
I was lucky enough to go to the St. Johnsbury Academy graduation. My nephew, Jack Leach, class of 2026. It just feels foreign to say that. I still remember Jack when he was just a young tyke. But we were there to support him and his classmates as they... their final day at the St. Johnsbury Academy is a complete class, unless they all come for reunion in 5 years. But graduation, my God, it's hard to believe. And I used to get sad when school would start, right, when I was younger, because I didn't want summer to end. Now I get sad when summer begins because I'm an adult and can't get summer off. So,
Well, since we're talking about the Academy, before we go into our subject this morning here, one thing I did see about the Academy, they were graced on prom night. I don't know if you saw the pictures or not, but somebody took a picture outside, and there was a little bit of a sprinkle going on.
Yep.
And there was a rainbow.
Nice rainbow. I did see that. Yeah. And the rainbow at that, and then they had a pigeon decide to fly into the field house yesterday and add. I wish it was a dove. Would have been more cool. But anyway.
All right, so our theme is graduation, meaning a lot of guys and gals are headed off to college. Let's talk about what that means for insurance.
And let me start by saying I don't want to take your summer away from you, but moms, dads, and kids, it's time to start thinking about, because before you know it, you will be off to college. And where are you going to college? You could be going to Northern Vermont University. You could be going to Plymouth University. You could be going to Groovy UV, St. Michael's. You could be going to Orono in Maine. You could be going down to Massachusetts, going to some of the schools down there. It's important to think about a couple of things if you're going off to college. Let's talk about the auto first. Let's say you're a licensed operator and you have a vehicle that you're driving now. Well, most freshmen can't go to campus with a car. Not all, but most. So that does alleviate a little bit of a concern about insuring a vehicle being garaged out of state, which we'll get to in a second. But moms and dads, do not take your children off your auto policy if they're off in college. A reason why your auto policy would still act as excess coverage for them for the liability, which is huge to have if they're borrowing a friend's car that has insufficient coverage or no coverage. Also, medical payments on your auto policy would still cover them as a passenger in other vehicles, or as a pedestrian.
Also, too, in a previous conversation, we talked about rental insurance.
Yes, yeah. We'll get it. Talking about renter's insurance or rental car?
Rental car insurance.
Yes. So fortunately, they probably won't be able to do that because most rental car companies require you to be 25 or older. So although there was a kid that was 21 at the line in Missouri that was an intern for Boeing who had a special exception, which I had never seen before. But anyway, so it's just important. Now, let's talk distance, all right? So I'm already advising you, keep your college-bound student on your auto policy. Where are they going to school? If they're going within 100 miles, I'm sorry, there's really not much we can do there. Just keep them on and keep paying what you're paying. If they're going over 100 miles away from home, guess what? There's a distant student discount available with most auto insurance companies, and it's pretty substantial. It's not it's good, right? It's going to save you money. The beautiful part about that is it's good for the entire time they're over 100 miles away from home at school. So it's not like you have to remove it next summer when they come home. It stays on the whole time, and it's because it's rating the child based on the possible frequency of use by being well over 100 miles or over 100 miles away from home. So a good thing to have. So you're keeping the protection on your child, and you're saving money in the process. Pretty good.
It is definitely very good. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's motoring.
Well, let's stay with motoring for one more component, and that is now let's say they can take a vehicle to college. All right. Well, depending on your insurance company, some may not like that, all right? So I've got a couple of companies that if school is in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, no problem. We just want to make sure we're accounting for that. If they're in Massachusetts, some companies are pretty good with it that I work with. I do have many companies that don't care, but it is important to know if your company will accept that and don't find out at the time of a loss that you may have caused some problems. Now, that wouldn't mean they would decline a claim for you, but it can become problematic whether you can retain your insurance. So, because think about it, vehicles are rated on geography, all right? It's rated on your zip code. So you are rated in St. Johnsbury, Lindenville, or one of the surrounding communities, and now you've got a car in Boston, Massachusetts. Pretty sure the rate for insurance is a little different down there. So have that in mind. Have a conversation with your agent to make sure you're doing the right things.
All right. So now let's move from motoring to residents. A lot of importance to renters insurance.
Indeed. And if you are staying on campus, guess what? Mom and dad's homeowner policy or renter's policy will give you up to 10% coverage for your personal belongings in the dormitory. So that's a good thing. Plus the liability, you are still considered by definition of the policy and insured, so you still have liability. So there's a lot of the components of the homeowner's policy that will still follow you at college, and that's not going to have any limitations of footprint if you're a dormitory student. That's a great thing. Moms and dads may want to schedule electronics like computers and things like that to have a little better coverage. Maybe you're bringing a MacBook or something to college. It's not a bad idea to have a conversation how to optimize coverage for that. Now let's go to your off-campus housing. You're renting. Well, when you're renting and there's an agreement between you and a landlord, that really takes it out of the automatic coverage for mom and dad. So now you need to think about a renter's insurance policy for yourself. You got to have it in the state that you're in. So if you're in Massachusetts, you cannot have a Vermont renter's insurance policy. You have to have a Massachusetts renter's insurance policy, naming your address. Not that expensive, talking about $10 to $30 a month, and you have proper coverage. So very important to think about that if you're doing off-campus housing.
All right. So folks are going to have a conversation towards the end of the summer or maybe in the middle of the summer to prep.
If you want to drop the bomb on your child now, like, hey, time to think about it.
They can have the conversation with you.
Yeah, give us a call, 748-5224. You can find our office on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury, online, thebarrettagency.com, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Just look for Barrett Insurance Agency.
All righty, Mike. You enjoy the sunshine, and we will see you in a week's time.
Absolutely.
Good policies, magic in the morning. Hometown Minute coming up shortly. We're at 8:43, and we didn't do this for you yesterday. Yesterday would have been a milestone birthday for one of the most famous blonde-haired, blue-eyed gals in the world. The first day of June, yesterday, would have been the 100th birthday of Marilyn Monroe. 100 years old. So to honor her, a day after her birthday, Elton John put this out in the 70s. This is Candle in the Wind.